Friends of Gravity, is this here the marble run system we've always dreamed of? A marble run that's compatible with the regular sized Lego bricks. This gotta be amazing. I've always wanted to take a look at this. I first discovered the original Hubelino in the Lego Duplo form factor through my kids, and I was so fascinated by it that I felt the urge to play with that, to set something up. But of course, what I would have really wished for would have been a marble run system that is compatible with the original normal sized Lego. So I'm really excited to take a look at this now. Is this the marble run system that I, and I guess many others, have always dreamed of? I ordered a pre-owned set online. If the quality of the pieces is anything similar to the original Hubelino, that shouldn't make a big difference. So I'll use this set to take a first look at this system. On the back of the box there are some close-up shots of the whole affair. Apparently this includes a switch and a four-way crossing. Here on the side of the box there is a list of the included pieces. Up here you see the elements, and apparently they're not like classic Lego style building blocks, but they're columns and longer blocks that are hollowed out in the middle. So I'm curious to see how those will perform. So this has been opened before. This is what things look like inside the box. So this eBayer was kind enough to put everything back in the original plastic bags. Let's get this out. These are the instructions and the building plates. And all of the pieces are in those 5 bags here. I'm going to get all of this out. And this comes with 4 marbles. These are metal marbles. I'll leave them in this little bag for now. The base plates feature a little H on the studs here, so you can see this is Hubelino. And these are the building blocks for this system. Yeah, and they work like building blocks of this kind should. Interesting. And these are the track elements. These are 2 90-degree curves, and they basically click onto those studs. Yeah, and this seems to work pretty well. There are different kind of track elements. There is a straight that reduces height, and a 90-degree corner that also reduces height. There's a left version and a right version of this. And then there are just plain short straights, 90-degree curves, and this kind of ending or starting piece here, this kind of drop down piece that has a hole in the end. And there's one more piece that is another 90-degree curve, but that has a smaller radius. And then there are the special elements. This is the 4-way crossing right here, and the switch. Overall, my feeling is, for some reason, the variation of different track elements seems to be a little bit lower than with the classical Lego Duplo sized Hubelino. And then, of course, I wanted to test if this is actually compatible with regular Lego. So this here is some genuine Lego, and as you see, this clicks onto here without any problem. This beam here apparently has the height of 2 regular Lego blocks. Yeah, so you can easily combine this with your existing Lego. These are the instructions. There's only this course in here, but apparently there's a website, hubelino.com/instructions, where you can find building instructions for other courses that you can set up with this set. Okay, I'm going to try my luck and set this up. Okay, that's kind of a joke. So the first step is just putting the base plates on the table. And then the second step starts with the supporting structure and even the first marble run element. The spaces between the different pieces are indicated by those numbers, so you don't have to manually count all the studs in this drawing here. And just like in a Lego instructions, it tells you which pieces are needed at each step. That was the second step, swift progress, I'd say. And this is the third step, and there's not much happening per step, so let's see. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put the track elements in there so you can see that well. They fit onto the supporting structures quite snugly. And for step number 4, that's supporting structures only. Step number 5, really not much happening per step here in this build. That was step number 5. I think I have everything. Now for number 6. Step number 7, a couple of more track elements in this one. The progress here is really quick, and if you're like me, used to the classic Hubelino, the whole thing strikes me as rather small. However, I like the style. It has this minimalistic simplicity. I think that's kind of nice. Okay, and here comes a very smart element. This has studs on the top and on the bottom. So with this piece here, you can use any track element upside down. So you just add this element in upside down orientation like this. So I attach this to here, and now I can put it on there upside down. This is what this looks like up close. That was step number 8. On with number 9. That was step number 9, and this whole affair is starting to look markedly like a marble run. Number 10. So at step number 10, all three-way crossings are used at the same time. And here we're using this element again to build upside down. So this then forms a tube here rather than just this half tube shape. And on to the next step. This step featured supporting structures only. Now for more track elements. This looks cool, but the whole supporting structure seems to be a little bit shaky, I think. Maybe that improves once the tracks are completed, but so far it doesn't seem super stable. Number 14. Number 15. Number 16. On with number 17. This is the last step of the instructions, number 18. Done! Before I go on, I have to quickly take the measurements of this. At the widest segment here, this is 47 centimeters wide, 24 centimeters deep, and the highest section here is 34 centimeters high. And of course, such a complicated marble run with so many layers and turns and crossings would take up much more space in the larger Lego Duplo compatible version of Hubelino. So actually I like this a lot. You get much more marble run with a much smaller footprint here. There is at least one spot where I think there could be a problem with reliability. Looking at this right now, let's see if I'm right. Okay, so this doesn't work, and the main problem I think is down here where we have this switch that is used the other way around to lead two parts of the tracks together. And we still have that black switch element there. In the instructions, it was printed with the black thing included, but I think if we just get rid of this, we should solve this problem. So you can just press that in and get it out, and I'm going to do exactly that now. Now 2 of the marbles got stuck up here, and I think the reason for this could be that this kind of lacks a supporting pillar right here, so this can kind of hang down a little bit. I kind of pressed everything together again now, so let's try again. Okay, this came loose here, and then this jump doesn't work anymore, so the marbles actually jumped out of the course. Those marbles are actually quite heavy, so no wonder that if you let them run a couple of times, things will come loose just from the weight of the moving marbles. Yeah, now the marbles finally made it to the finish, and look how neatly they arranged themselves down here. It took me a couple of attempts now to get this working. Overall, what can I say? This has been in the market since 2019, and Hubelino Pi started out with, I think, 4 or 5 different sets. And they haven't added anything to this system since, I believe. There's one more special element out there that isn't included in this set, that's the Gauss cannon. So this can't be a huge success, and looking at this now, I think I kind of understand why. The first thing is, even though it's compatible with Lego, it doesn't really give you the feeling that you want to combine this with your existing Lego, does it? Somehow, just by the design of this, you don't feel like you want to mix the two. Second thing is, for this system I would like to see more special elements. Right now there are only 2 or 3, depending how you count them. I would like to see a variety of special elements like you have with a lot of other systems. Also, this has much fewer different regular track elements. Regular Hubelino has 2 kinds of 180-degree curves. It features long, medium and short straights. There are different kinds of straight slopes there, so that's the kind of variation and variety that I would also like to see in this kind of system. So I don't know, so somehow I'm not totally convinced yet, so maybe I have to let this sink in for a while and play around with this a little bit before I can pass a final judgment on this. So now this works somewhat reliably. I'm going to do a couple of details and slow motion shots. One thing I wanted to test is whether or not this system here is compatible to this China knockoff miniature version of the original Hubelino. That stuff is now being sold everywhere on the internet, and I ordered a box of this on Temu, I believe. You can check out my video on this. So I'll take one of the tracks here and one of these base plates. This actually turns out to be a genuine Lego base plate, but doesn't matter. What I care for here is whether or not the tracks have the same height and everything, so you can mix the track elements, and this actually looks very good. So yes, this here is 100% compatible. to this system, and that means you can just take all those elements. If you own one of those illegal China sets, you can take all those elements, for example this beautiful 180-degree curve, and mix it with the pieces of this system, especially the special elements like this little funnel here or so. All of this will work with this system. And I mean, of course, technically that's illegal because I'm sure they didn't pay any license fees or anything. So that's what I don't get. Hubelino, you have all the licenses and all the patents for this. Why didn't you just take the magic and the fascination of the larger scale Hubelino and bring it down to this size? Or even now, you could just take all of those elements and bring out additional sets now that include those pieces. I think that would be really, really cool. Get more variety into this thing, and I think then this could be a really, really cool system. So Hubelino, if you're listening to this, don't let the regular Lego form factor die with this. Bring out new sets and new specials and bring all the great innovations and the fun you created for the larger form factor. Bring that into the regular Lego size. I think this will work, and don't leave that market to those rip-off artists here. This was my short unboxing and review of the Hubelino Pi Marble Run starter set. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos on all kinds of marble runs from all over the world. And please remember, what goes up must come down here at Gravity Bites.